extreme. And merge.
Well, I'm known as the grumpy vlogger. I'll gripe and complain longer. Please do me the adieu and kindly view me on YouTube.
All right, let's try that again. Okay, everyone, I hope you can hear me. Make sure I've got that muted. Okay, still working on the lighting situation. As you can see, when I do certain things, I got a real reflective light here, and so get used to it until I figure out what to do with that. I thought I had it all set up. It's working great this week, but anyways, guys, as you know, we're going to have we got several things we're going to cover tonight. And as you've probably noticed, Mel is not here. But if you're paying attention to the chat, you will notice that somebody else is here. And good audio and video. All right, thank you, Steve Carpenter. And to Dennis Lovelady, Rick Halber, Rick Halber, and Mark Rogers. As soon as I can find your email addresses, or if Steve or Jim would mind forwarding it to you, to those that I just named, I have some rules that I'm setting in place. And it's just minor stuff, but it's stuff that Mel and I both talked about, and he's not here tonight. So, we've been on the phone today. I don't know if you guys noticed my new opening, the kind of montage of stuff. Well, that was created by none other than 400 AGL, Mel himself. See, every time I move that, I'm going to have to put up with that. So I got to figure out what's causing that, but I'll figure it out some other time. You guys aren't here to see. See there? I go, now I've got my spray on tan going again. It's that one light up there that's causing all the problems. And if it gets too bad, I'll shut it off and I'll sit here in the dark, you know. But anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through these. I've sent them off, but these are the basics, okay? And they're pretty common sense stuff, but okay. Well, let me see if I can bring it up on my email, because I sent all this stuff off to everybody. And so bear with me for just a minute, and if you're wondering, I'm killing a little time, because, well, I am. Let me shut that off. Let me see if I can find it here. Anyways, basically, it's a set of rules. If you guys will go into the description, you'll see okay, here's rule number 1. No political or religious comments allowed in the chat. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, let's not have the Pentecostals bashing the Baptists, and the Baptists bashing the Catholics, and the Catholics bashing the agnostics and the common sense and that kind of stuff. To say, something like, well, like for Jim Crennan, for example, and I that's another thing. I want to thank everybody. I wasn't here. Was I here last week? I've lost track now. And okay, that was my cane that fell. But to say, hey, Jim could still use use some prayer and some support, that kind of stuff. That's okay. But but don't be bashing each other's, and don't be making, don't be calling anybody's political points of view wrong or tainted or out of sync. And I mean, let's not get carried away. Let's use common sense, but have some respect for each other. That's the biggest thing, is having respect. And first time's a warning, second time's a timeout, third time your comments will be hid. And then the next is no personal attacks on each other. Is that number 2? Yeah, that's number 2. Don't be saying so-and-so's such and such and such and such and so on. And, let's just, the rules must have been made for me. Sorry I've been such a bad boy. I will sit in the car. No, actually, they're probably made for me. Now, this is something we've run into some other things, and same goes, just no personal attacks on each other, but we've run into this and some other things. And one thing we've noticed is there's no, and I'm a moderator on several places, there's no rules for the moderators. And so I thought this will give you guys a guideline, and that's what it is, a guideline. And let's not be, it's okay to promote and say, hey, I need, I could use another 10 subscribers and I'll make 500, or I'll make 1,000, or, or I need 2 more subscribers and I'll make 100. Okay, a couple of times of that, and that's that. But, let's not do the sub for sub and, oh my God, if I don't get it, I'm going to die and the world's going to end type stuff, all right? None of that silliness. And no spamming, okay? You put up a good comment, or you put up something that's of interest that you think will be interesting in the chat, that's fine, but let's not get carried away and just go on and on and on, because, that gets monotonous. Let's see. Shame you need the rules. I have not seen it, but I hope it did not happen on your channel. If it did, it's a real shame. Well, yeah, no, Centroid, it isn't. It's not been a real problem here, but we've run onto it. We've run into some instances, and as a moderator, sometimes you're dissatisfied with the way things are done, and as a person who's not a moderator and you're seeing something going on, you're wishing they would do something. Well, I just decided, Mel and I talked about this, and we just decided to just kind of nip it in the bud before it ever, because not that we're growing, not especially me, but anyways, enough of the business now. I've said what needs to be said, and let's, without any further ado, let's bring on none other than the great, the stupendous, the wondrous, and the awesome Mr. Kelly Shores. Let's see if I can get him over here and get his sound working. Let's see.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I hope they can.
All right. Hey, well, glad to be here. So how's it going tonight? I believe we're in for a bit of an Arctic blast, and maybe somebody got it. We were about 71 degrees in Austin, and I feel it as I was leaving the gym this evening. I could feel it coming in.
Yeah, it was like it's been like in the 40s today, and the wind, you may hear it because I'm in my living room, and behind me is the doggy door, and you'll hear it. You'll hear it going in and out, the wind howling through it. Yeah.
See, I see a big sectional chart back there. Is what I see.
Oh, you see a big, well, that's true. But you might hear it because
I see a no-fly zone over there in Desert MOA.
Yeah,
military operations area.
Yes.
So you're in Muskogee, right?
Yes, I'm in Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Yes, sir. Proud to be an Okie from Muskogee.
Well, I'm not sure about the proud part, but I'm here, and I've been here for so long that it's kind of it's kind of rubbed in on me now.
Muskogee, Oklahoma, USA. You know that song, right?
Oh my God, yes. Unfortunately,
Up against the wall.
When I first heard that song, I was living in Colorado, and I thought that was just the coolest thing because I had kinfolk that lived down here. Because I grew up in Colorado. Sure. Then I moved down here and found out what it was really like, and I was so disappointed because it is nothing like the song, let me tell you.
Well, I've driven through Muskogee probably, I don't know, 30 or 40 times on the way up to Missouri. I have family up in Missouri, and we go right through Muskogee on the way to Springfield, Joplin, Springfield, and then Lebanon, Missouri.
Oh, yeah, I know that area. I've got granddaughters that live up. One lives in Springfield, and the other one lives up at Branson, so...
the Ozarks. Yeah. Real pretty up there.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I used to go up there every year when my mom was alive. We used to take her up there. And
I will say that I've flown my drone up there a few times around Springfield and Lebanon, and the only thing, on all Class G airspace. It's all good. But then every so often you get these jets from Fort Leonard Wood that just over the tree, zooming through at high speed. Always like, I hope my drone's not up in the air, but by the time on,
Yeah.
For
For some reason, we're
I
getting
guess it's military training areas.
some reason I'm getting just a little bit of glitch on you there every so often. I don't know why that is. It almost acts like it's lag, but that it could be on my side of things. It could be my download is all ate up with stuff right now. So I try to keep everything closed down. But
all right. Well, I don't know. I'm on my home Wi-Fi and it's pretty fast. So
yeah. Well, we shouldn't have any
sure
problems with my because. So
let's take a thing from the audience. How are you guys hearing any glitch on me or on Lloyd?
Let's see. Not seen anything yet.
What's up, Roosevelt? See Fly Natural out there. 13 degrees in Arkansas. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, they're talking about snow this coming weekend, so I am not looking forward to that at all. And
well, we don't ever get it down here, so it's always kind of a treat when we actually do get some snow. But not great for drone flying. You had sent me a little agenda, and you were asking about new stuff. And I'll tell you, I've had a real hard time getting videos out for the last couple of weeks. It's been just so busy at my normal job that I feel like I'm falling behind.
Yeah, that was something I did want to touch on, and I sent you the agenda. I forgot to print it off for myself.
No worries, I got it right here.
You got it there. Okay, you keep me on point then, because I get to blathering and I forget where I'm at.
We're on part 4. Talk about any new news. So actually, I do have something kind of exciting. Well, something exciting and something disappointing, if you want to hear. I had mentioned a couple of weeks ago about Billy Kyle and myself going to Australia. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I did. Matter of fact, I think you mentioned it on Mel's show when you were in there.
Yeah. So I'm very excited. It still could happen, but we have been, or at least I have been told by the people who are paying for it to hold off on getting a ticket because they're still working on the financing. And I was kind of annoyed because they actually had me sign a contract with them, for the whole deal, all signed and everything. So I thought it was something I could talk about. So I'm not sure if that's happening or not. I actually have a call with the guy Thursday night to find out. So I'm gonna get the scoop.
Okay. Well, I hope it does work out for you because Australia is
oh man, never been there.
You've never been there. I've never been there either, and I've got friends down there. I've had a couple buddies that have been down. They live there. They grew up there, and we've been friends for over 20 years. And I've got a place to stay if I can just ever get around to getting down there. That's my problem.
I know it's a big commitment to get there, especially to Perth, because it's kind of it's supposedly even a long way from Sydney. But the good news, the thing that I am definitely doing is I'm going to Las Vegas in 2 weeks. It's not coming weekend, but the following weekend, and I'm going to the DRL Drone Racing League tryouts. I'm not trying out, but I've been invited to go vlog it. Be there and video it.
Yeah. Okay, awesome.
You ever watch those guys, Lloyd?
I have.
You ever watched DRL at all?
I've watched it, and I just kind of shake my head and hold my hands up and think, not me. Nah, ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. It's so, those guys are so skilled. They're all flying in acro mode, rate mode, just no stabilization, just doing all these. If you know anything about the physics of airplanes, they're mimicking what airplanes do in a quadcopter. They're doing elements and barrel rolls and all this crazy stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just I every time I see an FPVer, I'm just totally blown away. And that's what's really changed, and what's kind of cool about our community now is because when I first started following this about a little over a year ago and started getting into this, I've been dinking around with drones for a year or so, just toy drones, a SEMA, everybody starts out with.
Oh yeah, one of my favorites.
Yeah, I got a 5 and an 8 both, and
SEMA X5C and the
yeah.
SEMA X8.
yeah,
Yep,
the X8.
both great drones.
Yeah, I got the first. I think I got the first X8 that came out with the altitude hold on it, and
Oh, nice.
that
That
you know,
helps.
yeah, and Wi-Fi. But eventually, long story short, I ended up with a Spark, and actually ended up with 3 of them, one for me and one for both my boys, because it
Nice.
had been a tragedy with one of my son's drones, and my boys, one of them's 50 and the other one's 48. Okay, or 44. Well, the 44-year-old one's going to kill me now because I just called him 48. No, that's my daughter that's 48. But anyway, so I got grown sons, and we were out flying, and my 50-year-old, my 44-year-old, the youngest, had just given a what was it, the 3DR,
Oh yeah, the Solo.
the Solo. He just given a brand new one to his brother because he bought 2 of them when they were selling out over at Best Buy, and he bought,
Nice.
you know, they had the whole package for such a cheap price. He bought 2
Oh
of them.
yeah, you could get it for like $200 or $300.
Yeah.
The whole thing. And I got one when I bought mine in 2015. It was over 1,000.
Yeah. Well, he had 2 of them, and so his older brother had been wanting to do drones, so he just decided to give it to him. So, anyways, he took it up, and I was trying to fly my son's Phantom 2 Vision, or Phantom.
Oh
2,
yeah, I remember that.
or the
With
Phantom
the little
2
round
Plus.
camera.
Yeah, but he put a gimbal on it. He'd actually taken it apart, put a gimbal on it, and then put the camera back
Nice.
up. And you know, I didn't realize they'd updated the DJI Go app and all that stuff. And so, anyways, we're trying to get it flying. We look up and we tell my oldest boy, "You better watch that tree." He gets up just within. He thinks he's got it cleared, but he's standing under it, which means his perception is completely off.
Right, right.
And all of a sudden, we hear this sucking of wind and this terrible sound and this clattering. And
Oh,
all of a sudden,
no.
we just both look at the same time. And about that time, we saw it crash into the street.
Oh no.
He brought down a limb about this big around when he did it too. You know, about as big around
with
as
with the Phantom.
no, with
was with
the
the Phantom?
with the Solo, the brand new Solo.
Oh, the Solo. Oh yeah, that thing was a beast.
Yeah, and he'd only been had it up in the air for less than 5 minutes, you know,
Oh.
and he'd crashed it. And you know, he's a police officer. He's chief of police of his department, and it's a very small department. But I thought the man was going to cry.
Oh no.
Guess he was just.
What city is the chief of police in?
Well, he's the chief of police down at their state college down here in Warner, and he's the
Oh, okay.
he's the head of their reserves down there as well. So he kind of does.
I just wondered if I was speeding, I could drop your name and maybe get out of a ticket or something.
If you should go through Warner, you could try, but that probably anywhere else you use my last name, and it's probably going to get you in more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah. They do like their speed traps there along between Sherman Denison and all the way up to Joplin. Man, it's speed trap after speed trap.
after speed trap. Yeah, especially when you get north of Muskogee, because that area, Choteau, and you know, and
You got all those casinos up there and
Yeah.
reservations. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm super excited. I'll be leaving on Friday the 8th, I believe, and I run. And the event, the tryouts go all day Saturday the 9th, and I've been told I'm going to get to meet all the pilots and all the DRL folks, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I do a little bit of FPV. I'm not great at it. I'm getting better, but it's so much fun and it's so much challenge.
Yeah. It's you know, I'll admit it straight out. It's beyond my skill level. You know, I got problems with eye-hand coordination. Some days I have enough trouble just getting up and walking and chewing gum at the same time. You know.
You
And,
ever tried, Lloyd? You ever tried the DJI goggles?
No, I haven't. One of these days, save up my pennies, and I very well may get me some goggles. But it's on the list of stuff to do with, you know, and
Yeah, of course, priorities, right?
priorities.
But,
Yeah.
but I will tell you, it's pretty. Those are pretty mind blowing. If you ever put them on, be sure to sit down first because you'll start doing this like you've had too many drinks and you get dizzy because your orientation is all off.
Well, I do that all the time, anyways. Now, that's I've been having to use my cane here lately because I've been having that problems. So I have MS and it's acting up right now. So I deal with it.
Well, hey, you look great. You sound great. You're making a lot of people smile.
Well.
So that's the important thing.
I'm just doing this. This is therapy to me. It just keeps my mind off of because dealing with and I wanted to thank you for coming in with Mel the other week with for that night my wife was in the hospital. That was a rough weekend, but I appreciate it.
Is she out now?
Yeah, she's
is
out.
She out of the hospital? Okay.
Yeah, she's actually doing better. Yeah, she's doing better than she was before she went in, which is always a bonus, But it was just one of those things that happens.
Yeah, sure.
Wrong meds. I gave her mine, and she took, and I gave her mine, and I took hers, and hers didn't bother me, but mine definitely bothered her. And
well. Let me ask you this real quick. How Lloyd? I mean, how did you decide to start doing this? Because this is it's a big undertaking every week, and you said it's like therapy, but you've actually built quite a big channel. Considering that you didn't know much about it a few years ago.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure how I got into it. No, what happened was I don't know. A year ago, this last Thanksgiving, that's when I did my first grumpy vlogger thing, and we had, we were getting ready for Thanksgiving as a week before, and we had this, we had a mouse problem in this part of the country. You tend to deal with the wildlife,
Sure.
And we had one get up in my wife's china hutch, and it was sitting up on top of one of her. She likes to collect nativity sets, and he was sitting up on top of the head of the wise man, and he was he was just looking at me, daring me, like. And
do it, do it,
and I'm sitting there, and so I get out the camera and snap a picture, okay, and then I sit down and say, and I'm going to kill this thing. I'm going to get out my .22 pellet rifle, and I'm going to shoot him. And my wife said, "No, you're not. You can't shoot him inside the china hutch."
Yeah. The collateral damage would be
collateral
you want to deal with.
Yeah. I'm not sure which one of us would have survived, me or the mouse, because once she got hold of me, I probably wouldn't have. But anyways, so I sat down and did a video about it, and put it together and called it the Grumpy Vlogger because my grandkids have been calling me Grumpy for years. So I just thought, go with it, and I did.
Why not?
And I started that, and then I did a second video, and then just a third one, and I started doing them about once every. And for the longest time, I just had 10 subscribers, and then all of a sudden I had 20 subscribers, and then when I hit 50, I was just blown away. When I hit 100, by then I'd started, and I was also starting to get into drones. I'd put up a couple of drone videos that I'd done with me and my boys when we got the Sparks, and I started following. Well, I started following you. You were the first drone guy I started following.
Well, and I appreciate that.
I didn't interact that much because, to be honest with you, I didn't know anything about it. So I just kind of, lurked and watched. And then Ken Heron had his car accident,
Oh, yeah.
And you put that up there, and I was just all over it. And I started following him on a regular basis, right then, keeping up. It's the first time I'd ever donated to a GoFundMe account, And
excellent.
So
now you're starting them.
Yeah, well, that's it. And speaking of that, we've got Jim Crinan in the house, and
I saw that. Hey, Jim.
And Jim, we are so glad. I got a nice call. Jim and I had a good chat this morning. I see he made it home okay. He was. I'm going to have him on here soon for sure. We talked about that this morning. And guys, and Chris Hope, if you can, would you pop that link up there for that? And I need, I'm probably way behind on that chat because I didn't have it scrolling. But that GoFundMe account is still going because Jim is still, he's still going through all of that and needing all
I
that.
have it as a Google. I have it as a Google shortener. I just put it up there. That's just how I happen to have it.
Okay.
I actually it's funny. I just copied and pasted it a few minutes ago to check and see how it was doing. And the thing that makes me really happy is that there's so many participation. 51 people have donated. I mean, that to me is way more important than the dollar amount.
Well, that's it. And this is, I've said this before. Thank you, Chris. And I've said this before that if I never hit 500 or 1,000 or anything like that, that's one of the proudest things I've ever done was being able to help out a fellow veteran. And it's
absolutely,
because it just inadvertently slipped. It's through Canadian Drone Hubs. I even found out. I just happened to pick it up, and then he texted me about something, and I just suddenly realized, hey, something needs to be done to help this guy out, and I just really definitely appreciate what he's actually a really enjoyable guy to talk with. I've had a couple good conversations with. He called me this morning just because he wanted to talk, and we had a good talk, and he went on to do what he had to do because I lost him in the mountains. He was traveling through the hills there, and I lost him in the hills. But anyways, but yeah, that's how all this kind of all came about. I just ended up by accident. Then I met Mel. And once you meet Mel, it's just
your life is over.
Pretty much, yeah. Once you meet Mel, your life has changed forever. That is I don't know if he's able to listen tonight.
I talked to Mel about an hour ago. So Jeff Sales had called me. Actually, Mel, I got Mel's. All right, it was Jeff who had called me about a question about the Mavic Pro, carrying Chris Rollins' Mavic Pro that he crashed a while back.
Right.
And so I called Mel back, and Mel's like, "Well, I didn't call you, Jeff." I'm like, "Well, your caller ID showed up." But anyway, I talked to Mel. As a matter of fact, Mel currently has my Spark controller. I sent it to him so he could check it out and play with it, and so he's playing with it right now.
He said that he said something to me about he was hoping to have one, and I figured we kind of talked. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you guys saw the opening, but my opening credits have changed up a little bit, and that was something that Mel did for me, and he did this center section, and I just got it thrown together, finished out, and the music in, and a couple of sound effects in, probably 5 minutes before you came on here and got it set up, so I was able to.
Wow.
Yeah, it's.
Who wrote your song?
My son did. My son from my first
nice,
marriage.
nice.
Yeah, that's his band. He has his own recording studio, his own recording label, so there's no copyright infringement. I wrote the words.
Yeah.
I was actually coming back from seeing Mel when we did the flight test on the Mavic 2 Zoom. Okay.
Okay.
And
cool.
I was coming back, and I had been a long day and a long drive and up there and back, and I still had another stop to make, and I was just bored, and I came up with the words and I sang it into the video, and I popped it up and forgot that it was still in that section of video. Well, he heard it, and yeah, my son from my first marriage, and he heard that, and he took it and he called me up before my birthday, and he says, "Hey," or right after my birthday, he says, "I got something for you." He says, "To put this together, the band wants you to have this. It's a happy birthday," and he sends it to me.
That's awesome.
Whoa, because he's got they've got a couple. I think they're working on their second or third album now, and they do their own recording. They have their own studio. He's got his own record label now, so. Like I said, I don't have to worry about copyright infringement on that song.
Yeah, well, you wrote the lyrics, so that's all good.
He copyrighted it into the copyright is registered in my name under his label.
Oh, nice.
So I'm protected either way I go. So, but yeah,
hey, man, not many drone channels or vloggers have their own theme song. That's a big plus.
Yeah, that's true. That does it is kind of catchy. And speaking
do your grandkids watch this show at all? Just curious.
I think my 18-year-old grandson watches it on occasion. He because I think he's kind of scared too, because he's the one I tease about having the man bun, and he never knows what I might say.
Yeah.
You know, I might
Yeah,
embarrass him, and but he's usually working, and but because he's going to he's either going to college or he's either doing class work or he's working, one of the two. So.
Nice.
You know, but yeah, I like to tease him about it. He doesn't wear it around me, and actually, he's just pretty much quit wearing a man bun altogether. I teased him about it so much. It's just, you know, it's
That's probably good.
Yeah, it's an age thing, you know. Hey,
I mean, I just quit hair altogether. I'm just done with it.
Well, so did my boys. You know, fortunately, I wear a hat all the time, but I don't have the hair problem.
You got a good, thick head of hair there.
Yeah, I got a mop is what I got. Matter of fact, I need a haircut now. But I finally got rid of the Amish look, you know, because my wife said when she got out of the hospital, that was the first thing that she said was, "You're going to get rid of that." So,
well, that's what you've got on your icon, right? It's got kind of a beard, that sketch.
Yeah. Oh, that sketch. Yeah, that one sketch is I'm just. Well, a little worse than I am now, but I'm pretty much unshaven, and because I'm lazy when it comes to shaving. I hate to shave. It's just something. But
if you don't have to, then you can always tell if I have a meeting, because at work, if I'm shaved and I'm wearing a button-up shirt, I've got a meeting. But
right.
Otherwise, I'm in a t-shirt and unshaved.
Well, that was that was one of the questions I had for you, Kelly, and we've chatted back and forth through mail and a couple. I think one other show we chatted. Can't remember what that one was. But of course we see each other in the chats quite a bit.
Sure.
What is it that you do when you're not flying drones and making famous YouTube videos?
Oh yes. Well, actually, as I always like to do, this is my company, Sparksight. We're a video production company based in Austin, and we do a lot of videos. We do CMEs, which is continuing medical education. I actually film surgery sometimes. Do a lot of tech videos, so trade show, interviews, product launch, demonstrations, all that kind of stuff. So marketing and medical videos.
Well, that explains why you're so good at what you do then on YouTube, because you just take it's just
here's the funny thing though, actually. No, I'll tell you this. I'm the oldest guy in the office. It's my company. I have a bunch of people work for me, 20-something. They're way better at video than me. As a matter of fact, I'm a little embarrassed with my videos. Sometimes they're out of focus, or the camera's all over the place, or whatever. So, it's that I own a video production company, and my production value is not nearly as good as it could be. I am excited though tonight, and I'd love to see in the chat. As a matter of fact, I'm going to look right now. I've got the autofocus going on this camera, and I'm curious if it's actually doing a good job. Can you guys tell me if I'm staying in focus as I move around? It looks, I have a little dot on my head on the screen. It looks like I am, but it looks like it's working.
Yeah, it's looking good. For some reason, I am getting glitching though, coming from one of us to the other, and I've noticed my stream health is not what it should be, but that's on my side, not your side.
Steve said, thanks for producing Spin Up. That's right. That's my thing. As a matter of fact, I'm very, very to signing my contract, and I'm hoping everybody who's on here tonight will join us on Friday for First Friday. I'll be with Philip again, probably at my office. I promise it'll be better this time. We had some production issues last time with sound and stuff, but I've tried to make that better. But I'm pretty sure on Friday I'm going to be able to announce the date for Spin Up. So I'll leave you all guessing.
Oh,
for wondering.
Awesome. I don't know if you've noticed it, but you notice you have that's something else I want to bring up. You notice you have around you looks like a TV screen with your own, it says Ready, Set, Drone there.
I did notice that.
That's courtesy of my friend Grant, who is sometimes in here. Grant, Mr. Stay Drunk is what he goes by. That's his old gaming name. That's his gaming name when we played World of Warcraft together. My wife used to run a guild in World of Warcraft. She did it until she hit 60. Yeah, she ran it with an iron hand too. Let me tell you, I didn't get by none. We used TeamSpeak or Ventrilo, and whenever I'd pop off something, she was usually close enough, and they knew it because they'd hear my head getting.
She'd give you the what for, huh?
Oh yeah, she would. She'd smack me up the side of the head and tell me to shut up, and off we'd go. But yeah, but
That's awesome.
But yeah, so he did that for me because I told him you were coming in, and so he put that together over the weekend. And speaking of that,
Yeah, it looks great. It looks fantastic. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to figure out if the logo is like a key. Yeah, I guess it is. Go behind it. Wow.
yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, it's embedded right into the frame. He did that as a PNG file, which makes it invisible in behind, and I just it over. I just laid it over your channel image that came through.
Very cool.
Because I can even this is. Let me see if I can do that. Did I lose you on sound? I did.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, you're still here. Okay. All right. Good. Good. All right. But anyway, so I can do that, and then I can go back to. Then I can just do this back, and I've got your frame set either way. So, and that reminds me, I promised somebody because they were kind enough to throw that thing together. I owe them a little bit of. I'm going to do a little advertising here, so I'm going to switch sets for just a minute and show everybody a couple of things here. So hopefully I won't lose your sound. Yeah, there we go. All right. Okay. This video was produced by. There you go. Yeah. And if you're real quick, there's somebody in that video that if you're not paying attention, you'll miss, but I know the secret now. So that video was produced by none other than Mr. Mel 400 AGL. And if you guys would like an intro video like that for yourself, contact Mel at 400agl.net@gmail.com, and he will set you up. So let me see if
I saw Brian in there.
Yeah, I can play it. Let me play it. Let's see if I can play it one more time. Let's see if I can figure out how to play it one more time. Let me do that again and go back to it. There we go.
So who is that young guy with Mel? Was that his son?
No, that's yeah. No, that's you talk about the one where he's flying the drone. He's got the control in front of him.
No,
yeah,
I thought it was you.
There is one of me. Yes, yeah, where I'm standing in front of the truck. That's when we met up at. I think that was the first time we met. Let me get you over here and.
So did you get to see the Flying Eagle Hilton?
3 times, 3 different times. I got to see it. The first time he came, he stopped here in Muskogee, and I went across town and met him. He says, "You got any place we can fly?" And I said, "Well, it's kind of flat land around here. There's not a lot." So, I said, "Well, let me think." And I thought of the submarine. So we went out there that first week because he was going somewhere. I think he was going up into Missouri and then coming back down through. So he had to, wherever he went, anyways, he was going to be back the next week. So we stood outside of the fence the first time and filmed that submarine from outside. And the people that ran it came up, "What you doing?" "We're filming, Of course, Mel is the ambassador of Part 107 and all drone flyers concerned, He's got the information, he's got the knowledge, and he promotes it really strong. And so, we played around with that, and then he had to take off. And then he came back. He called me up at the end of the week. He says, "I'm going to be back through." And he says, and I think it was going to be on a Saturday this time. He says, "Will they be open?" I said, "Yeah." I said, So we actually went inside and talked to him and paid the donation to get in. And we did the tour and took a lot of video and then shot the aerial footage and did all that and just had a ball. We spent, probably 3 hours. Well, when it was really strange because we went into the submarine last, and when we came out, it was like we were in the middle of the ocean and we were in the middle of a typhoon because the rain had set in.
Oh, geez.
And we had to
Yeah.
run from that tail section all the way into the building. If you if you ever get a chance to watch the video that he's got or I've got on that,
Okay.
watch him but it was, you could see how big that thing is, and so we had to run that gangplank to get in under, and we were soaking wet by the time we got inside. But and then he came down. I don't know, as a actually, I've seen the Flying Eagle 3 times and him 4, and because he came down and he stopped up at up there at Big Cabin, on the way. Just
Oh
where
yeah,
you-
with the big smoke shop,
smoke
Big
shop
Indian,
Indian,
the smoke
yeah.
shop. Yep.
Yeah.
At the toll road.
Yeah, right at the
I know
toll
exactly
road.
what you're talking about.
He got off right there because he was going through somewhere else, but he couldn't come south to where I'm at. So I drove up and met him that day. That's when the Grumpy Vlogger theme song got wrote, and
Okay.
he launched the Mavic Zoom because there's a lot of talk about 2-hour flight time and all of this on that battery, and he just wanted to, or 5-mile flight time or whatever. No, it was the OcuSync. You could fly it 5 miles without losing connection. Well, that's fine if he'd have landed it in the road and I'd have got out because I had a spare battery and switched the batteries, and then he'd taken off. He could have gone the 5 miles without losing signal. The problem
Wow.
was the battery was only good for 2.5 miles. So, well, it got
Was it
50.
Was it
50%.
windy?
It was a little breezy.
It's always a little
yeah.
windy in Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, it is. And there's a joke about that, and it's because Texas blows and Kansas sucks, and when it's windy in Oklahoma,
I've heard another version of that, but it's not safe for your show, so I'll leave it at
well,
that.
that one was just on the edge of being safe, so we'll just go with that.
If it weren't for Texas Cowboys and Kansas City Ladies of the Evening, there wouldn't be an Oklahoma. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that one either.
Well, one question, and I'm curious if anybody in the chat has ever stopped at Turner Falls. You ever been there, Floyd?
Sooner Falls? No.
Turner
Oh,
Falls.
Turner Falls. No, I've never been down there. My wife has, but I've never gotten down there.
It's beautiful, and I actually flew my drone there one time. Stopped and we stopped. There's a place you can get fried pies, and we stopped and got some fried pies, and I went in and put my Mavic Pro up in the air and took some video of it.
Yeah,
Never did anything with that either.
For some reason, I've never gotten up to, never gotten down to Turner Falls. So that's one of those parts of the country I just don't,
Well, it's right on 35, so if you're going between OKC and Dallas, you'll hit it.
I stay away from both those towns if I can keep from it, and anything in between them. I just.
Yep, Stingray Aerial Solutions knows where it is. Yeah, it's
It's in
beautiful.
Davis, yeah. Okay, Davis. Okay, is Turner Falls where Robbers Cave is at? Is that where that's at? I'm trying to. He might know.
I don't know that. I don't know that.
I'm trying to think where Robbers Cave is at, because that's where I'm thinking that's around Turner's Falls too. So anybody from Oklahoma that knows that.
I just saw Chris Hope's comment. You tell him, Kelly, and I could just hear him doing the snap. You tell him, Kelly.
Yeah, Chris Hope,
Fellow
yeah.
Texan, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that Turner Falls is a beautiful place. I shot video of it, and it's a video I've never even done anything with. It's like I need to find it and do something with it because it was really, really cool.
How many hours of drone footage and video do you have that you've never used?
That's a great question. Nowadays, if I shoot something purposeful about it and end up putting it out somewhere, especially since I have an audience that'll watch it, but
Right.
ultimately, I mean, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of stuff I've done that just didn't work, or maybe I wasn't happy with how it turned out. But yeah, I buy like hard drives for Ready Set Drone, and I just filled up a 4 gig hard drive since July of last year. I'm sorry, terabyte hard drive since July of last year. I just bought a new 4 terabyte hard drive for 2019. So hopefully it's going to last me most of the year, or maybe not. I was also going to say something I just got, and I'm gonna try probably this weekend and do a review of. Have you heard of the DJI LaCie drive? You know what that is?
Not that one. I've got the DJI. What's that one?
Is it the one that you can put the card in and it'll download automatically without a computer?
No, that's not the one I've got. I've got the one that you got to have the computer.
Okay, yeah, I think I know which. It might be a Western Digital or a Seagate or something.
Yeah, it's a Seagate. Yeah, it's a Seagate, but it's got the DJI.
And it has a little slot. Slot in it. You can put the card directly in.
Yeah.
That one looked cool, but the one I got is actually it's LaCie, which they make ruggedized drives, and we use them a lot for production because they are ruggedized and they're built to, kind of, if you're traveling with them, they're more rugged. Anyway, this one has a battery. You charge it. It's got a screen, and then when you stick your card in, it automatically copies everything directly from the card to the drive.
Oh, that's what I need right there.
Yeah, so you don't even need a computer. So where that helps me is, like, if I'm out shooting with friends, it's not just for drones, but for cameras as well. A lot of times, if I'm out shooting with friends, I'll want their footage, and they'll want mine. And if we don't have, it's hard to do that. So I can just grab their, put it in, hit copy, and it'll copy it all. I'm going to review that. I'm going to in the next week or two. Rick Halber, yes, it does have a monochrome LCD screen. And again, I'll put it on my channel in the next or two because I'm super excited to use it.
I look forward to seeing that. And speaking of Rick Halber, I want to where am I at? Okay, I think I put something on it on the sheet there. Let me see if I can find this. Let me get this here.
Yeah, I'm looking
about a giveaway.
Yeah, guys, it's announced new giveaway.
Yep.
And there is, don't tell anyone. Okay, I'm going to be quiet.
Okay.
Actually, he doesn't have the winner on the sheet.
Yeah, no, the winner is not there yet because I'm just now announcing. Here's the deal. I originally, my giveaway, and I kind of stalled after that, but my giveaway, the original was going to do, and Artco ended up with the, I gave away a C922 camera.
Nice.
And it was meant to be when I hit 500, and that's what I was saving it for. And then I wanted to do that by the end of the year, and I honestly thought at one point I was going to make it, and then it just kind of stalled out, and it was getting near Christmas, and so I gave it away for Christmas. Jim Crennan actually won it, believe it or not. He ended up giving it to Artco because that's when we were doing the GoFundMe for Artco at the time. Well,
gotcha.
Rick Halber contacted me the other day, and I'm giving him credit for this because that's credit. I'm giving credit where it's due, but I'm just going to hold it up in front of me because he has kindly donated, and this will be when I hit 500. This will be given away, and I'll announce the rules for that, but it will not be given away until I reach 500, and when I do that, I'll have an announcement video, and that will tell about what it is. And this is what I will be giving away. For those of you, that is, let's see if I can do this right without, there we go. It is a DJI,
oh, nice.
It's a Rise DJI Tello, and if that wasn't just good enough by itself, the controller.
Oh, controller for it.
Yes.
Nice, Bluetooth.
Yes, yes.
So I've got a Tello, and I'll tell you, it's a lot of fun, and actually it flies pretty well with the phone. It's one of those drones that I've flown a lot of those drones that you fly with the phone before. It does a good job. And just a small aside, Lloyd, my most popular video in December was my Tello review. must have been a lot of people looking at it because of the Christmas holidays and everything.
Well, the funny thing you should say that is because I knew you were going to be on today, and part of what I did was I kind of looked at your videos because I don't always, with being a caretaker and Judy's got Parkinson's, so being a caretaker, I don't always have time to do everything. Getting a daily vlog out is a chore most days, and getting ready for this show because Mel and I are constantly changing our sets.
Right.
We're always trying to one-up each other or trying to do something better, or he comes up with an idea and I have to do it and take that and run with it, and then I come up with an idea and he takes it and he runs with it. So we work well together, but I don't get a chance to see all your videos that I want like I used to before I ever got into this. When I was just watching, I had all the time in the world. Now that I'm doing stuff, and I try to answer, and I try to answer everybody, and when you get close to 500 people and you got 20, 30 of them viewing and half of them comment, it's all you can do just to keep going. And
yeah, totally agree.
I can't imagine what you go through. You probably but I did watch your I think it was December 22nd, your revisit to the Tello.
Oh yeah. So I'll tell you a dirty little secret. Yeah, so the whole reason I made that video is because I saw my other Tello video was trending really well. This is one of those YouTube other Tello videos was doing really well, and so I hadn't flown it in a while. So I was like, I need to make another Tello video, and that one did pretty well too. It's just a hot topic at that time.
Yeah. I was just jealous because, at that point in time, it was kind of chilly around here, and there you were walking around in your shorts and getting ready to go swimming. I'm thinking, that's just not fair.
So my son and his buddies jumped in the pool right after that, and they all jumped out, and then I told them I'd give $10 to whoever could stay in the longest. And those fools sat in that pool for like 20 minutes until finally 3 of them got out, and the last one, he's on the swim team, so he was never going to get out.
Yeah, he wasn't going to get out. Yeah. So, well, and I got to do one more bit of that. But guys, just remember when I hit 500. So please let your brothers, your sisters, your mothers, your aunts, your uncles, anybody, even if you really don't like them, make sure they subscribe to my channel because I'm just grumpy enough. Most people don't. So if you want to offend somebody really well, have them subscribe to my channel, okay? And but like I said, again, this is courtesy of Rick Halber. He actually didn't think it would get here today. He sent it off this weekend, and it actually showed up today. So I was lucky enough to have it. There's the controller. And do I have
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
no, Tello is a really great. It's also a really fun indoor drone. It's got such light body mass that you're not going to damage anything with it. And it's got built-in prop guards, I think.
Yeah, my wife saw it and she says, I want one. So I guess I will be getting her one. She says, oh, I like that. It's like, all right, thanks. Okay, now I got to get one for her. But anyways, and so again, thank you. Thanks so much to Rick Halber. And
very nice.
I have been very blessed to have some really good friends on this channel that I've met through this wondrous thing called YouTube, and including you. I like to consider you a friend.
Thank you.
I
appreciate that, Lloyd.
I thought of, as big a following as you've got, somebody like me is just absolutely, I'm just a little guy. But when you took time out back in September to do that video with Jim Hightower, to do that little clip for my birthday, that was just one of the most...
That was fun.
And that was the most moving and best birthday present I think I've had in years. And it just blew me away that Jim went to all that work, and that each and every one of you, like I said, if I never make it, that's the one thing that and doing what we're doing for Jim. And thank you, Steve, for guys, I'm busy trying to keep an eye out on what I'm doing, and I'm just missing out on the chat. That's why I always have a co-host. It's because
Oh yeah. I've been replying to people, so I've been trying to anyway.
Well, good. Thank you so much. And that's I just gotten used to doing it with Mel, and it was actually Mel's idea. So if you had a miserable time here, blame it on Mel, because he says, "Hey, reach out to Kelly, and I thought, yeah, Kelly's not going to respond, and I want to thank you again, man. I just was blown away when you said yes. I appreciate
absolutely.
it. You know,
No,
and,
it's all about timing, and it worked out great. I didn't have I'm happy here, and I will say too that we share a big chunk of this audience. It's fun to watch the chat because I know so many of these guys, and so many of them are friends of mine too, and so many of them I got to meet at Spin Up too. That's something else that I think is going to be amazing in 2019 is I hope that we can all get together again, and it's even a bigger group this year, because meeting all these guys in person was just blew my mind.
Well, I know how much it's meant to, meeting Brian and Mel. Of course, I'd met Mel 2 or 3 times before, and then getting to meet Brian at Smoky Mountain Aerial Images. That was just that was a that was a fun
he's a
thing.
smart dude.
Oh, he is.
I like Brian a lot, and actually, I thought he was real serious when I first met him, but I realized he has kind of a wicked sense of humor.
He does. Oh, and the video. Did you see the video of him doing the Vegemite?
No, I haven't seen that.
Well, go look online and see the video of Mel and Brian doing the Vegemite challenge, because they did it at my kitchen table. And
oh, nice.
Oh my God, it was just, Brian's reaction was just priceless, and I got it on video. It was just, and of course Mel, he takes it, what's the big deal, I started that out because my friend that did the thing over your screen there, he's from Australia. He sent it to me first when Greg
I've seen you eating it.
Okay. Well, I did one like that with Brian. They were at the kitchen table, and I just had it sitting there, and I reached out. I said, "Hey, Brian." And finally he says, "Oh, I guess we got to do it." And the look on his face,
I've never tried the stuff. I've heard that's part of the reason I want to go to Australia, honestly, was eat some Vegemite and see some kangaroos.
There you go. That's I understand they won't even let you in unless you tried Vegemite first on film. So I think Centroid is supposed to be trying it. I've yet to see his video, and I may have missed it if he's in here. If he's in here, he needs to let me know whether he's done it, and he needs to let everybody know that he's got it up on his side, because he's been talking about. He's got a jar of it. I was in his show the other night. Popped in there or the other morning. I can't remember when it was. Popped in there for a few minutes. The first time I got a chance to do it, and he was. He said he brought it out and showed me he had it, but he hadn't cracked the seal on it yet. So I got to admit.
Yeah, well, I think that stuff keeps forever too, right? Doesn't it? Isn't it supposed to be like if as long as you don't open it, you can have it on a shelf for years?
Oh, you can have it on the shelf even if you have opened it. That's how it got. That's how I ended up with it. My friend calls me up and tells me he was digging the back of his cupboard because he's cleaning out, and he found a jar. He said it had been 15 years since he'd bought a jar, and he had a partially open jar. He opened it up and tasted it, and it was still good. And
wow.
then,
well, good's a relative term.
Yeah, well, that's true. Oh, Centroid left? Okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry I missed that. Guys, I apologize. I've got about 100 things, and I was running at the last minute, still doing some stuff. And speaking of that, I got one more piece of cheap advertisement I need to do for. Let me make sure when I do this. Again, this is. Let's see where. There we go. Okay, this is for Mel. He's got his DJI Inspire Inspire 1 version 2. Contact him if you want one. That's a really good price. Everything you see in the picture, he wanted me to let you guys know, because he's very likely not going to have a show Wednesday, so I may be redoing this on Wednesday. We'll see. Depends on what he can do, but that's a really good price on that Inspire. And I think it comes with one controller, the ZMuse Z3 X5 batteries, and 5 batteries. So $2,300 if I had the money, or best offer. If I had the money, I'd be buying it myself, but I don't have the money. And but anyway, so that was a little bit of promo work that I wanted to do for him. And Kelly, I hope you've enjoyed yourself on my show tonight. I hope it hasn't been
I certainly have.
You
I
know?
certainly have. I've had a big grin on my face most of the time, so hopefully that showed through. And like I said, this is one of my favorite things to do, to be not only on but also just watching these things. It's so much fun when I see a alert pop up and I get a chance to pop in and say hi to people.
Yeah, and that's what I like to do too. I like to, I follow, there's probably about 4 or 5 live streams I jump into during the week and, try and get in. I try to get into a Canadian drone hub. I try to get into, of course, I try never to miss Ken Herons, and of course, Everyday Dad. I try and catch his, and he was sick this week, so he didn't have his show, and let's see, what is everybody saying here? I mean, I truly hope you make to spin up this year. Yeah, Jim's hoping to make a spin up. I hope I can too. That was part of the other problem was my wife is. Her health isn't the best, and she just wasn't doing real good when spin up came up. Plus, we'd already made one long trip out into. I went to New Mexico, and I went right through Amarillo and out through Hereford and that godforsaken part of the world, and we got caught in a sandstorm, and it just tore her lungs up. So, she's got COPD, and I think she's still coughing up dust from that sandstorm. That was the nastiest thing. Yeah, I was born in New Mexico, but I'm not used to that crap.
I've been out there. I actually used to have a CDL. I told Mel this, and drove a Class B bobtail truck with AV gear. I used to work for an audiovisual company, and I drove out I-10 out to California a number of times and got caught in a couple of dust storms, and it's intense.
Oh yeah, it is. This one came out of nowhere. I mean, it just popped up. It was a vortex is what it was. It was running, but it was like a tornado, but it was like laid down on its side. It was just unbelievable. And I mean, there were semis. We all just kind of, held on to our steering wheels and hoped that nobody got blown over in front of us and we didn't hit them, because you couldn't see 10 foot in front of you out there, because we were headed to Clovis, New Mexico, or Port.
Oh yeah. I've been through Clovis before on 10.
Yeah, that's where my sister lives. Actually, she lives in Texaco. That's the weirdest town, because you could drive at one end of the street and you're in Texas, the other end of the street you're in New Mexico, and your phone switches back and forth, and your time zone switches too. So it's real weird.
Yeah.
Depending on which side of the street you're on, whether you're in Texas, New Mexico, and which time zone you're in. But I'm hoping to make it to spin up this next year. I really do.
Yeah,
and
it's probably about 8 hours for you.
Yeah, I think
8 hours
so.
down to Austin.
Yeah, because we used to drive through there back before, right after about the time she had her first heart attack. We were just before then, we had been going down to Harlingen, Texas for the winter. And so we drove right through there all the way down to get down there to the Rio Grande Valley. Loved it down there, And then 9/11 happened, and 9/11 happened, and things got a little squirrely at the borders, and we just didn't feel safe going down there anymore. And the drives were getting harder and harder on me, because she wasn't really driving that much then. After she
I don't know if I actually haven't shared this with anybody in this community before. I was in New York City on 9/11, and this sounds like melodrama, but it's actually true. We were supposed to have had a press briefing for my company at the time at Windows on the World that morning, and it got canceled. And I wasn't there, and I would have been, and a whole bunch of people I know would have been, but that got canceled. Our entire event got canceled. We were doing a product launch for a software company that I worked for, and we ended up having to take a bus back to Austin from New York after 3 days of waiting. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I would not have wanted to be in that part of the country. And
well, the weirdest thing was in Manhattan. It was actually a really beautiful day, and my dad called me, and he was watching the news, and you could see from across the Hudson or wherever it was, you could see the smoke, and it just looked all fiery and smoky. But where I was, which was near Times Square, it was beautiful. It was weird.
Yeah,
very strange.
Yeah, and that's something Well, I don't know. Sometimes I think we may have forgot what happened, and I always.
Oh, I won't forget, man. I saw. I mean, I didn't see anything horrific. I just saw and a lot of really shocked people, which
Well,
whole country was like that, of course.
well, yeah,
but New York
you were
was
you
like,
were you were much
it was
closer to
intense.
ground zero than we were in Oklahoma. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was. That's something we won't. Most of us won't forget. I was going to ask you something, Kelly, because I'm always teasing. I kid Matt and stuff about being our token millennial and stuff. But I was going to ask you, how old are you?
Hey, let's have a guess from the audience. Unless you know, there's some people that might know. Let's have a guess and see who can guess how old Kelly is. I would be curious to see what people think.
I have a suspicion, but I won't say.
Let the roasting begin.
Yeah.
No, it's funny because I get all over the map. I get some people that think I'm way older than I really am, and I get some people way younger than I really am. Phantom Hodges drone. No, that's too high. That's
Yeah, that's a lot.
I'm younger than 56. Older than 45, Jerry. Older than 46, Jim. Older than 42. Older than 45. Older than 43. Well, I'm glad everybody's trending low. 55. I'm actually turning 50 this year. I'm 49. So Mark Rogers, you were really close.
I was thinking you were right at 49 or 50. I knew you was. I thought you was, because I think we kind of discussed one time, and when he found out I had a son that was 50, he was like, "Oh, really?"
Yeah. I'm turning. As a matter of fact, I will probably turn 50 like a few days before spin up. So
Okay.
I'm looking forward to celebrating my 50th birthday with all you guys.
Oh, that would be cool. So awesome. Yeah. So, well, I knew
We'll have some of that barbecue. Some of that barbecue.
Yeah, I heard you guys had good barbecue down there. I mean, we had some. That's what we. I think Mel and Brian probably got burned out on barbecue because I fed them barbecue. We have a barbecue joint here in town. It's it was started by one of our local mobsters and his son. So
Actually, is Fly Natural still on? Because I actually went to one of the best barbecue places I've ever been to, called Penguin something Penguins in Arkansas, in Fayetteville. What was are you on Fly? It's
he was on
Penguin
there.
Penguin Jim's or Penguin Joe's, or it's my daughter's friend's parents that own the place, and it was amazing. And I'll have to remember the name of it, but it was in Fayetteville. But Salt looks pretty good too. Zeb Meat 67. What?
Yeah.
I graduated in '87. That's right. Fly Natural. You got it.
Wow.
Class of '87.
Class of '87. Yeah.
I think I'm right in the middle of this group. Honestly, I feel like I'm kind of right in the center of kind of this. this,
you're
group.
kind of. I know that Zeb Meat and Jim or not Jim, Zeb Meat and Steve and Dennis and I are probably on the senior end of this crew. I'm looking to see who else is there. Yeah, there's Steve Carpenter, Dennis Lovelady, Zeb Meat, myself. I'm trying to see who else is here. Of course, then we got Oklahoma droner Matt, and he's our token millennial. We let him in because he's a nice guy, and I just enjoy. I like picking on seniors too. I mean.
Yeah, you pick on everybody.
I do it equally. I do, I do it without. I pick on myself as much as I do anybody else because I do some of the dumbest stuff.
True, very true. I'm barbecue. I'm the barbecue I went to, but I'm not finding it right now in Fayetteville because Fly Natural know it. I'll figure it out, and I'll tell you guys. So hey, one last thing. because I think we're wrapping up. But
Yes, we are
I would
getting-
love to invite everybody to join on Friday night. As I said, I promise it'll be a good show. I'm putting a lot of thought and effort into the agenda, as well as giveaways. I'm going to give away some stuff, as well as hopefully announce the date for Spin Up, and finally, no technical issues. And I think we're going to have the confetti cannon ready to go again.
Well, as one who does this on a weekly basis now, technical issues or something, and ask Ken Heron, because never say no
Oh, I know.
technical issues, because I don't care how good you do it and how much you prepare. I've been working on this all weekend, on and off, just waiting for you to get here, and I still have run into some technical issues that and then there were some last minute changes, like Mel decided to. He says, "Hey, I'll do your opening for you, and your opening and closing song for you, or videos for you." And I said, "Sure." And he sent it to me, and I was throwing it together because he did all the photo montage stuff, and then I had to add the 2 clips
Nice.
on the beginning and the end, and then add the music and add the sound effects of the camera shutter. And I forgot I didn't have any, so I had to go digging for camera shutter sounds. And I was doing that up until just before you showed up on the camera, so but guys, again, let's not forget Jim Crennan and the GoFundMe account there. Please keep that in mind, and keep him in your prayers and your thoughts and your good wishes, and that's another thing. I don't have my Peaceful Bliss set up to run on this particular one. I don't think. Let me see if I do. No, I don't. I usually have, sort of like Ken and Mel does, I have something to get us in the mood and in the zone to finish out the show, but I didn't put it on this set because I have a different set set up for each one of my types of shows. I got one when I call into Mel, I got one when I do my own show, and I got one when I have guests, when Mel's not here. So,
Well, you want me to strum the guitar a little bit?
oh, if you want to, you just go for it, man. Do you play guitar?
I do. Here, hold on. I'll show you my baby.
Now, this is something I'm interested in right here.
All right, let's see who can name this guitar. Not its name, but what kind of guitar is this? This is a quintessential punk guitar, 3 chords.
Was anybody putting the name up there? Let's hope they are, because
I'm looking to see if anybody knows what kind of guitar it is. It's got the kind of cutouts here, and it's got the you can see the Gibson, but what kind of Gibson is it? Anyway, you can't really hear it, I'm not plugged in, but it's a Gibson SG for all you
Gibson SG,
music fans
okay.
out there. Yep.
well,
All right, and with that, it's Gibson SG. Mark Rogers. I think he probably got it before I said it.
yeah. I have 2 Gretches.
So-
I have a 5120 hollow body
Oh,
single
nice.
cutaway, and a 5122 double cutaway hollow body. I love them.
Wow, those things sound fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I've played a hollow body a couple of times, but they're big. The thing I like about this is it's really small, thin, and light. So if you're getting into it, you know.
I played acoustic for so long. I'm used to bigger, thicker guitar, so I kind of felt in my life.
So Rick Albert says bass, or maybe he said bass. I'm not sure. And Oklahoma Droner said noisy. Nice.
Noisy. Yeah. Yeah.
So here's an idea for Spin Up. Is we should get everyone who plays an instrument, and we should put a band together and do a couple songs at the event. How about that?
Not a bad idea. I bet we could do it.
Learn a couple three chord songs. Learn them on your own, and then we'll all get together and butcher them.
Yeah, that's all I play. I mean, I played country for years, and everybody knows those are just 3 chord songs, that and blues. 12
Both kinds of music, country and
Yeah.
western.
country and western. That's
Play
it.
CDs. So Artco, I actually, do Do you know Problem Child? That was one of the first songs I learned how to play. Right now, because I'll mess it up. Because don't remember the chords.
Yeah.
But I can. All right, guys. I'm gonna jet out here before.
All right, Kelly.
People start throwing tomatoes at me. Lloyd, it's been awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming on here, Kelly. I appreciate it. I just absolutely couldn't have been more pleased having you on here. So thank you so much for doing this for me, Kelly. And I think we lost him. Did I lose Kelly?
I'm happy to do it. I'll see you guys on Friday. Right?
Okay, we'll see you on Friday's show then, Kelly. All right?
Okay, adios.
Adios. Okay, there we go, guys. Okay. Kelly is out of here. Let me make sure. Yeah, he's going to stay in the chat for a minute. But, guys, I have wasted enough time, and I kept Kelly on here way too long. I didn't get to cover everything I wanted to do because I was just totally blown away. And, you know, I'll be honest, I was starstruck, guys. You know, hey, I'm not above it. And it was so nice of Kelly to be on here. So with that said and done, remember Mel's show tentatively, unless you hear otherwise, will be on yeah, Kelly, thanks so much. I appreciate that. You just don't know what it means coming in, especially when I just gave you a couple of days notice. It was but next week Mel will be back on this show, and with luck he will also be able to do his show. He'll have his technical problems resolved, and he'll be able to do his show on Wednesday night. Otherwise, I may be covering for him like he did for me when Judy was in the hospital. And I hope to have this light fixed. It's driving me nuts. I'm changing my complexion. Six different bromance. Yes, okay. Yeah, it's just called being starstruck. Remember, check out Kelly's First Fridays on Ready Set Drone, and I will put a link in the description. If I haven't done it now, I will make sure that I do. And I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. And with that said and done, I am going to start the timer, and I'll come back with one more thing. Don't forget, when I reach 500, folks, when I reach 500, okay, this is what I'm giving away. So help me make it there, guys. And thanks again to Rick Halber for that. Just an absolute fantastic person. And I appreciate each and every one of you. So with that said and done, I am out of here, guys. I'm the Grumpy Vlogger. I will catch you guys later. You take care. Be kind to each other. Be nice. Don't forget Jim Crennan and that fundraiser, if anybody would be kind enough to put that back up. But I'm going to start the timer. You guys talk amongst yourselves, okay? And y'all have a good one. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.